Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. Today Christy and I are taking on that scrap lift by Jung Ahseng. I think that's how you say her name. It is from Hip Kit, and I know Christy picked it because there's stitching in it and she does enjoy stitching. Me, not so much. So what I did was I was like, oh, you know what? I bet I have some cut file banners, or I bet I can find some cut file banners and work with that instead. And I found a couple for free on the Paper Issues website. And so I printed out this one here where it's the double strand, that is from a Cinco de Mayo file. And then this one is from an Easter one, and it had two of these. And then what I did was I shrank it down and then welded two of them together, and I made that one as well. And what I made them out of was last month I got a jelly plate a couple of years ago and never used it. And then a group of us were doing challenges, and someone challenged us to use a technique or a tool we'd never used before. So I used my jelly plate and made mono prints and then made them into cards. And then what I was doing was rolling the excess ink onto a piece of cardstock, and this is just cheap cardstock from Walmart. So what I did is I used that to make my silhouette cuts on. So I thought that was a good way to go ahead and use that and not just have it sitting in my stash for several years. Okay, so I've got my banners and I've got the page kit I'm going to work with. This is made up out of Felicity Jane. It's mainly black and white. I was doing kind of like a monochromatic page kit because my photos are so colorful. So we'll see how this works out. All right, folks, before I get you guys put on fast forward, I do want to say, make sure you head on over to Christy's channel and check her take on this layout out. I will put a link to her channel in my description box below. So now I'm going to go ahead and get you guys put on fast forward. So let's get going. Hey everyone, so first thing I'm going to say is I got a new phone, which has a better camera, which unfortunately seems to be picking up a lot more movement of my mat and some of the pattern papers. So I do apologize for that. I'm going to see what I can do about it, but unfortunately right now there isn't really anything I can do without doing some research. So that paper that looks super wavy, that's actually little mini polka dots. I'm going to map both of my 3x4 photos, one with the white paper with black polka dots, and then one with the navy paper with white polka dots. I'm also going to be using pattern paper as my background rather than white cardstock. I think that makes the blue of the scallop pieces pop more. And I know it would probably pop just as fine on white cardstock, but I wanted to use the polka dot paper. So there. Really why I wanted to do it is because I wanted to use it. I am going to trim that polka dotted paper down by 3/4 of an inch on two sides, and then I'm going to mat the entire thing with that diagonal stripe paper. I'm also inking up everything with Hickory Smoke Distress ink, and I just cut ahead. Now, when I'm doing this where I'm matting the entire thing, a trick I learned from Kelly O'Black is to just put the ATG on one side, and that way if you do it crooked, you can easily pick it back up rather than if you put the ATG around everything, and then you're trying to carefully pry the entire 11-inch by 11-inch paper up without ripping anything. Whew, it takes a lot off your brain when you're someone like me who almost always puts things down crooked the first time. So I'm taking my scallop pieces and I'm just seeing what looks best. Like I said, I just I just cut out a whole bunch of them, and I figure, whatever I use, whatever I don't, it was leftover paper anyways, offshoots from my jelly plate session. So whatever I ended up using, it would work out. So I end up using the majority of them. I like the way this looks, kind of like hanging lanterns almost, or you know what I mean, like the string lights and stuff like that. So these two photos are from a trip we took up to the Yankee Candle home store, which is about 45 minutes away from us. We don't go all the time, probably every couple of years. It's an expensive trip for only being 45 minutes away from my house. It's like, oh, I need all the candles. I might still have candles left from the last time I went, but I still need all the candles. So I'm just using my Art Glitter clear glue to glue these down. This is the glue I've been using almost for 6 or 7 months now, and I really like it. It's got a great precision tip, but it just has a little bit more time to set before more than my Scotch tacky glue did. So I have a little bit of time to zhuzh something, and you'll see that coming up right here when I put this piece down. I it's too close and I'm able to move it without tearing the paper. If I now understand, I've got this sped up 3 times the normal speed, so obviously it was more than the millisecond that you see here. But with my tacky glue, I might have like smudged the paper or like taken a little bit of the top off with my Scotch tacky glue. So I've got all my banners down, so I'm going to go ahead and glue my photos down. So as I said, this was taken up at Yankee Candle. My nephew and his best friend were like posing for me, like very like teenagery, like seriously. I'm like, hey, we're buying you candles and stuff. You can pose for photos. I also had used my silhouette to cut out this tag. I actually cut out an entire page of tags, and this tag I'd happened to add to this page kit. So I inked that one up with hickory smoke as well. I want to put something there underneath my title. I originally think about that scallop sticker, but I decide the last piece of banner that I have left over will work better, and it also brings that blue color down there. And then I'm going to do my title. This is an older black thicker. I think it's called The Light, but not 100% sure on that. And I'm naming this very simply Yankee Candle. So one thing I really like when I'm doing pages about teenagers is using acrylic pieces. I think it lends well because of the vivacity of the color, and just for some reason acrylic and teenagers just works well for me. I'm also adding that chipboard piece, and that I believe is from Freckled Fawn, as well as these the banner chipboard piece that I put over on the photo is from Freckled Fawn. The circular chipboard pieces are from Felicity Jane, and the acrylic pieces are from Color Cast Designs, which is a small business that does acrylic and wood veneer. I'm finishing off by adding a couple more of those chipboard circles, and I'm pretty much done. I do also add some of those enamel hearts, also from Felicity Jane. Oh, suit. Sorry, that's going to make me laugh for a little bit now. I'm going ahead and doing my journaling. And as I said, I'm just talking about how we like to get up to Yankee Candle every couple of years. And we always have such fun with all the little activities they have going on in the store, like the making your candle and the photo opportunities. I'm going to finish this layout off with some misting, with some shimmers, vibes, and spritz in rose gold, red, and You're the Zest. And that will finish my layout. Before I completely end this video, I just want to say, make sure you head on over to Christy's channel and check out her take on this lift. And also, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye!